All right, so we're live. Can Anna hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm going to do this by exception, so please still come out tomorrow because I'm not going to do this all the time, right? So what did I do? I cloned the project and make sure I'm in the right directory. The starter code, npm install. Installs everything as a package.json. They refer to a lesson, and they don't specify which lesson. That lesson is React Intro. All right, and this is all intro. What is a framework? All right, I'm going to go to setup the environment. That's the most relevant for this exercise. All right. And I tell you that we need to make this stands for distribution, public. This is what the client has access to, the web browser, and source our source code. That will be our components, our React code, right? And almost everything is set up except for the most important things, React and React DOM. So let's install those as well. All right, let's open up this project. And now you can see there's public, but there's no distribution and source here in the file structure. Public. Make here, that's for make directory, dist, and source. Dist and source. All right. What goes in public? In public goes our index.html file. That needs ID is root. This is what where React will inject all our HTML into. And then we only need one script file. And that is, it's not created yet. It's going to be bundle.js. All you have to do with the index.html file. Right? In source, go two important files, index.js. This is where the compiling begins. Yeah. And app.js, which is our root component. Oh, all right. This currently works as well. I don't know if this is correct though. I'm going to find out later. So in this lesson, they tell you how to set up your index.js file. So this is where the compilation begins. Webpack goes in here. Says, okay, I need the React library, I need the React DOM library, and I need this component. And we're going to insert this component into the root. We're not going to touch it here. Most projects, this stays the same. Yeah. All right. This is where you start writing our React code. Also here, this you can basically copy paste. Right. So we don't have a CSS file yet. I'm going to uncomment this first. See if I got everything to work. So how the compiler works, it imports the library, imports this library, imports app, or app exists. All right, and then imports this app. Just when you say import, you're importing what you're exporting. Same way with require. And when you require something, you require the thing that is being exported. Slightly different notation. All right. We're basically set. And you only have to run this command. npm run webpack. I want to explain that command a little bit. You say npm run webpack. You say by run you're saying go into scripts. And you say run whatever is in webpack. You don't have to understand this. Webpack is a very elaborate kind of tool that we can spend 2 days on, but for now it's not really worth it. Just be thankful that it's there. And what you do have to understand a little bit is what the outcome is, what it is producing. So now I say npm run webpack. The compilation begins. And it also does 2 things. I should have done 2 things. Should have put the bundle.js file in here. Didn't. Created this file. So what's in this file? Don't try to read this, right? Don't. It's not worth it. This is the compiled version of, well, importing of React, the React DOM, app.js, puts on in one file, and calls in bundle.js. So this is only for the computer. Same way when you import a minified jQuery library, that's everything is put together in one file without any formatting. Just import and don't try to read it. Okay. So, but it's this file that we're including here. So it does 2 things. Apparently didn't create a webpack from the bundle.js file from the beginning. If that's the case with you as well, run npx webpack. npx webpack runs just the compilation. If you do npm run webpack, you should do 2 things. Listen for changes. So if you change something in your file, it compiles again. And it spins up a server for you that you can reach on localhost. Now, if I make a change, so it compiled the code again. Here, compiled it again. And it refreshed the server for me automatically. So it's a little bit like NodeMon and compilation at the same time. All right, so what I didn't cover is this applet CSS. If I do this right now, it will crash. Let's see, this error code is not very helpful, is it? Well, it is. Can resolve app.css. It's pretty helpful. All right, Dutch government is stalking us again. They're testing the alarm system. All right. Type extreme alerts. All right. It's every first Monday of the month they do this.
So they will switch them.
What?
They would switch out to this instead of.
Yeah, there used to be an alarm, and they found out that it's pretty old-fashioned.
Oh, really?
And now they're doing it with text messages. I didn't receive? Oh, then you're screwed, man. Everybody run except for Mel. Screwed. Right? Oh, then the test failed in your case. Anyways. It's only if you paid your taxes. Right. Right, so it's saying can't resolve app.css because there is no file app.css, so it can also not resolve it. So let's make that file. App.css. And this is where you write. Oh, here's a siren as well. All right, so they're doing both. If I will be Russia or something, we'll plan an attack like on this day, right? This time. Everybody would think it's a drill. And the background color, what am I doing? Body. So here can write a normal CSS. Aqua. Right? And it's aqua. So if you want to include CSS in your component, this is how you do it. Right. And it's and because this is component based, it is, I like it the most, but there's some, it's open for discussion. But if every component has its own CSS file, so if I'm going to make a new CSS file, a new React component. So yeah. Nav for use syntax highlighting is acting funny with GSX. Are your syntax highlighting working? Or is it making everything red? Right. So let's say I have a nav bar here. Href. Oh. This nav bar gets its own CSS. Right. So I'm not writing nav bar. Oh, damn it. Shit. Did I do? So yell none, something like this. So do not make one monolithical CSS file when you're going to write all the style rules for all the components. Every component gets its own CSS file. Then you utilize the reusability and modularity of React the most. This navbar gets its own CSS. And you can do here import navbar from oh, not here, sorry, in app.js. Very logical question you will have right now. How does navigation work in React? Let's see, did I save everything? Where is it? export default navbar, import navbar, class navbar, since navbar, navbar. A little bit in the dark why it's not. Oh, yeah, of course. Didn't write anything here in between. Boom. Okay. All right. Very pretty navbar. Page wrap. Sure. Let's make more. What, again?
Is that possible to add the last name in the UL instead of adding a div, or it has to be always inside the div?
No, but should always be in one. This is incorrect because what a component is returning should always be wrapped into one container element. Now it probably will. Here. A JSON GSX element must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. With an enclosing tag, I mean a parent tag. So in this case, UL is in the enclosing tag, right? So now it compiled successfully. A very natural question you would have right now, because with React, you don't have to navigate, you don't have to refresh pages. That's one of the main advantages of React, at least for the user perspective, for the UI, is what happens when I click on a link, because then I'm going to another page, right? All that thought, we're going to answer that later. Right? Here, it's gonna get. Short answer is you're not going to a new link. Links are sort of need to be handled like events. On click of a link, render another component. So with this walkthrough, try to finish it right now. And if you already finished it, try to do the Bolma components exercise. But I think most of you, almost all of you, didn't finish, especially not with the styling part. All right, so try to finish this exercise. Bye, Anna.
Bye.
Yep.